All right, I think we're going to kick it off. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Adriana Mendez. I am the founder of Sensational Seniors Workshops and the co-owner of Custom Moving and Hauling. And welcome to this week's edition of educational events, especially timely since the holidays are coming up. I know how many of you do online shopping. I know I do. So we're going to be talking today about holiday tech tips and scam prevention. It's going to be
Mhm.
presented by Nate Tan, who's joined us today. Hi, Nate.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you
My name
so much.
is Nate. But yes, I will be kind of the presenter today. I'm from Trevista Senior Living in Concord, but I've also have a really experienced background with Microsoft and Geek Squad. So I'll be kind of covering over some scam holiday tech tips for us and kind of just breaking down the questions and what to kind of cover and what to see and what to kind of know about.
Yes, and Nate is our expert. He's our tech guru, and we're really excited to have him here today. So thank you for taking the time to come out.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I thought before we jump in, I just wanted to really bring the relevance of what the really important things to think about. During the holidays, online shopping scams, 30%, 36% of Americans fall victims to online shopping scams during the holidays, which is crazy. And I know there's so many different opportunity for scammers out there. So we're going to be talking about, what to look out for there. Suspected digital shopping fraud is up 12% during Cyber 5 holiday period, which is that time between Thanksgiving Day and Cyber Monday. I know,
Hmm.
yeah, folks used to go out, their Black Friday shopping, but, Black Friday kind of got a rebrand since everybody's doing their online shopping.
Oh yeah.
And so 30% of those report that actually on the day of Black Friday is when they fell victim to a holiday scam. So let's not let that kill our holiday cheer. And I'm going to let Nate jump right into how we can protect ourselves, what to look out for, and where to go from there.
Perfect. So what Adriana was talking about here, we're going to kind of cover common holiday scams, peak crime rate, recognizing and avoiding phishing, protecting your online identity, and how to protect yourself while shopping. So kind of going into the first slide here, what is a holiday scam? So a holiday scam is when someone tries to trick you, especially on the busy holiday season. Majority of it is going to steal your money, personal information, or even gifts, and we don't want that. Especially when you're ordering, a lot of us are probably going to order online and using Amazon, using Best Buy, using any kind of third-party services online just to get it delivered to your door. It's pretty important to make sure that doesn't ruin your holiday spirit. These scammers may pretend to be charities, stores, family members, or even delivery companies to make their lives sound real. So many of these scams are going to kind of incorporate themselves into big business brands. You might not know what's real, what might not be. So it's best to try and use trusted devices and trusted online web sources to do your online holiday shopping. They often use holidays to catch people off guard with deals that seem too good to be true, requests for money, or fake promises or prizes or help. So it's kind of going into, they'll kind of trick you into thinking a deal is too good. You might get these online, digital advertisements saying, oh, 50% off that one thing that you really wanted, and that could be fake. So try to make sure that you're really looking into everything. If it's too good to be true, it's most likely not real. So what does a holiday scam look like? So a holiday scam, these are kind of like the 2020 holiday scams that kind of happened during that big kind of COVID pandemic, especially when everyone was ordering online. A lot of it was going to be kind of Black Friday slash Cyber Monday specials, and they were offering way too many good discounts. People were clicking on those links, so people might be on Facebook, Instagram, you might be on Nextdoor, or some kind of just regular app that you use on a day-to-day basis, even playing like a puzzle app, you might find these really great deals. Try not to click on them, don't click on the links that are provided, like the little pop-up ads. Try to use, go to the actual website, go to Amazon, go to Best Buy, go in person if you can. Um, Charity tricksters. A lot of times people are going to try to ask for money and say there's some kind of big charity. Try to use trusted charity sources, really big ones. And of course, trying to do your due diligence to look into kind of making sure that your money is going to somewhere that's, well spent and, going into the actual charity of that choice rather than someone else's pockets. Complimentary vouchers or gift cards. A lot of the big ones is people tend to ask for money during the holiday season. So complimentary vouchers and gift cards are usually the number one scam. A lot of places, even kind of similar to what happened around my area, is a lot of individuals will actually go into the stores themselves, put a fake little barcode on the gift card itself, and then when you go to check out, you pay for the gift card, you're actually paying it for someone else, and that gift card is not rendered useful.
Wow.
So Yeah, I have some
I never
photos
heard
on
of
it.
that.
No, yeah, I have some really big photos on it. I live in Hercules, California, so where CVS just down the street pretty much. Con or Pinole Police Department came down there, did a whole big spiel about it, but essentially almost 50% of those gift cards, majority of them being Visa, Amazon, Best Buy, and another big major retailer. Essentially, these guys come in, they act like regular shoppers, they'll put these fake little barcodes on it. So when you go to checkout, you're paying for the actual gift card itself. You're putting money in, but when you actually try to use it, the code's already been redeemed because they put their code on there instead of
Yeah.
yours.
Wow.
So that's usually a big one. The best part for how to kind of avoid that is, try to do it digitally if you can. Just send it through the actual website retailers themselves. If you are going in person, try to look for the tampered seals, and I have some photos on here that kind of go over that. Fake mobile apps, this is kind of a big one. A lot of times there'll be a lot of pop-up fake advertisement in apps. Try not to download any kind of applications that you might not think are real, because what the goal of the fake mobile apps is just trying to get your kind of information, right? They know that people are going to do holiday shopping online. They're going to be buying a lot of stuff. Everything's going to be delivered to either your house or someone else's house. Their goal is to pretty much they want to get all the information they can so one they can get into your account to access all that kind of credit card information to buy stuff for them, or sometimes they might use it to get your address and kind of stalk your location. So if they see you're a big spender, you buy everything online, you get a bunch of packages, and they know that you're going to buy a bunch of stuff during the Christmas season. Sometimes they might actually stalk out your area and kind of wait for those packages to steal them the moment they get delivered. So try to avoid putting in as much detailed information as can.
I have a
And then,
question about that. How does
yeah.
somebody know if the app is real? Like, is
So
there
it
a way for them to verify that on like Apple's end or Microsoft's end?
So the nice thing about Apple is if you have an Apple iOS device, so an iPad, MacBook, or even an iPhone itself, the nice thing about it is Apple is really, really good at having due diligence and making sure that none of these fake apps can go on the App Store. So you're pretty much safe if you have an Apple device. Now, if you have an Android device, now this can be a little bit tricky because Android does allow pretty much everything to be on the App Store. So the best thing to do is try not to download, try to avoid like clicking those advertisements. You might go on Facebook, right? And you see this advertisement where it's like, oh, 50% off, but you got to download this application. If it requires something to download, I usually don't recommend it, especially if you're on an Android, just because that is usually a number one case that it's not trusted. But if you have an iPhone, you have an iPad, or you have a MacBook, majority of the time you're pretty much 99% safe. And then a lot of times the application will know if it's fake or not is if you do fall for this scam. Majority of it's kind of harmless. It's just more so information gathering. The best thing to do is just call your credit card company, kind of be on the lookout, and then we'll kind of go more into like the shipping and delivering and how to prevent them from taking your packages. But there's really no way other than kind of just doing some due diligence. Look for the signs. If you have an Amazon app already and it's making you download another Amazon app, that's a pretty big sign. A lot of it is they're going to try to duplicate something that's already out. So that's the best way to know for it.
You see.
Mhm. And then the last thing I'm going to kind of cover here is bogus shipping notices. So a lot of them are going to see emails from supposedly Amazon, shipping carrier in your inbox that claim packages with problems or have been delivered. Many of these are phishing attacks. So a lot of them, and you're probably going to get a bunch of these all throughout your phone. I actually got one this morning that I included in my slides last minute. It's showing that my packages, I ordered a bunch of stuff from Amazon already for kind of Christmas shopping early, and I got a little USPS delivery notification saying something was wrong with one of my deliveries, and I actually almost fell for it. So we'll kind of go over that and we'll kind of avoid phishing links. A lot of times is you're not going to keep track of your packages and you might get these little phishing links like something's wrong. Try not to worry about it. If you bought it from Amazon, you bought it from Best Buy, just contact the carrier themselves. I've never clicked the phishing links itself. So we'll go into the next slide here. So this is kind of what those holiday scams that I was kind of talking about between the first one here. On the left side, you have kind of that gift card scam. So how it works essentially is these guys will put a fake little sticker of their own gift card barcode there. So a lot of times is when you go into these stores, try to like fidget with the little barcode. Kind of put your little nail on it, scratch on the ends. See if it pulls off, that means someone was tampering with that gift card. That's the best way to go around with those gift card scams because majority of the time it's just a sticker. So the best thing about it is just kind of do your little nail, kind of peel it off and see if there's anything on there. If there's nothing on there, that means you're pretty much safe to go and you're good to buy that gift card. And if something does happen with that gift card, I know a lot of stores kind of don't offer refunds, so really try to be careful in making sure that, hey, you know, you're buying the gift card and you're making sure that it is also working as well. If not, if you feel like you're kind of scared about buying these physical gift cards because with everything's happening online, I do recommend going to, actual Amazon, Best Buy, Apple, and just buying the gift cards directly from the actual website and sending it digitally. That's also a great alternative. Another thing is kind of like the phishing attacks, right? They're going to make these fake applications, fake websites. You have Amazon on the left, that's the real Amazon, and on the right, I don't know if it's possible to see it, but it says Amazon biggest sale live.n, and it's kind of popping up these fake little advertisements. Amazon's a really big company, so if you click on an Amazon ad and you see these kind of fake ads within the application, it's kind of a big sign letting you know that advertisement is fake. As well as you also notice on the top left of these bars here, you see that little lock symbol next to the Amazon link, and you see a little universal symbol. That means that the Amazon lock link is secured, meaning it's most likely a real site. And then the right side, it's a little universal without the lock symbol, meaning it's most likely fake. So it's always good to kind of check your due diligence, making sure if you see the lock symbol, that means your data is most likely secured, and it's a good chance it's possibly a real website.
That's the one that I see all the time, those pop-ups or those, those emails with the fake links.
Mm,
And even too, I don't know if you can see it in this one, but like sometimes when you go to those fake websites, you kind of notice that everything looks a little off or it
yeah.
logos pixelated. Like there's little things that you can kind of tell that look a little bit off. So I think if you get that instinct, like, oh, this looks a little different, then it's probably fake, right?
That's correct. Yeah, a lot of times these are kind of replicates of like really quick replicants of the actual website itself. So you'll notice like if you click a link and nothing's working and you just keep trying and trying, some of it might not be developed. So it's a good indicator that it's not real because the goal of these fake websites is just really to get your information. They want your credit card information, they want your social security, they want everything on you just so they can use that money to buy themselves stuff, which is not good. So going on to the next one here is this is a big one, and I think this is a really good one that a lot of people don't know is fake Amazon store. So this is actually the real Amazon website here. So this is nothing, everything is all from Amazon.com. If you notice, it has sold by Conga Supply and fulfilled by Amazon, and then there's other sellers right here. A lot of these fake stores, these are actually on the real Amazon stores here, and you're trying to look for the best deal, kind of get the best pricing. Maybe something's out of stock, and you just need to get that for that loved one of yours, and you really want to get it. So Amazon will offer an alternative option. Usually popping up on the right here, you have these different sellers, different names, and a lot of different prices. So sometimes you might see a price that's like $500 cheaper when everything's already sold out. So that might be a great deal. You're buying it from Amazon. You think this is a great, great, great investment, and you're going to get that gift that that person wanted. Well, the downside about that is you got to do your due diligence. If you notice on the right, Amazon will pop up just launched their reviews if they're a legitimate seller. Because anybody, even a scammer like themselves, can go on Amazon, make a fake company, and say, hey, we're selling this product, even though they're not verifying. And it takes about 5 minutes, especially during the holiday seasons. Amazon kind of just approves everything. So the goal is you want to make sure that you're double checking, making sure, like on the left, it says sold by Amazon, fulfilled by Amazon. That means you're guaranteed going to get a product regardless of where it comes. And then sometimes it'll say sold by Conga Supply and fulfilled by Amazon. That means it's still going to be fulfilled by Amazon. I mean, Amazon actually has a product in their warehouse and it's legit. A lot of these fake companies, the goal of what they want to do is they want you to buy these gifts. And then if you're going to forget about them because they're never going to deliver them. So you're putting in X amount of money, 25 to 300 bucks, and then essentially you pay for that product and you're never going to get it delivered. The goal is they want you to buy so many items because you're doing all your holiday shopping. Usually, a lot of families will do like one giant haul, get the best deals, and kind of forget about what they bought until they comes in and deliver and they start packaging everything up. The goal of these fake companies is for you to pay for the product. You're never going to get it delivered, and then it's going to be out of the return policy. So after a certain amount, I think it's 2 weeks, you cannot get your money back. So this is how they're going to try to scam you on these. So it's really good just to kind of follow up your due diligence, making sure like if it says just launched, I wouldn't really recommend it. Even though it's out of stock, I would look at alternative options, maybe looking in person or in store, or maybe going to another verified site rather than just purchasing something that's may seem too good to be true, essentially. Because you don't want to just pay for money and not have that come get delivered to you. So that's kind of going to that next one here is how to know if it's phishing or a scam. So phishing essentially is going to be a fake link created, and I believe I have a slide on the next one here that kind of shows the fake link, but essentially phishing is going to be some kind of strange link embedded in emails, texts, or unfamiliar websites. Essentially, if you get an email, you're going to click that link and it might take all your information. And that's essentially what phishing is. You don't want to click any strange links embedded in emails, texts, or unfamiliar websites, and then requests for personal information and obvious typos of errors. So a lot of these phishing or scams will have, the wording, or maybe it's coded looks a little bit different, looks a little bit blurry, doesn't look right. A lot of it, like I said, is replications of the real stuff. So there might be obvious typos or errors. Maybe something's not capitalized, or maybe something just doesn't seem right. That is most likely a phishing. And then lastly, emails or texts that create a sense of urgency. A lot of these scammers are wanting to create some kind of urgency to say, hey, you need to click this now. The IRS wants your money. You're going to go to jail within the next 2 days if you don't pay us $500. If it's some sense of urgency, it's most likely going to be fake. No company should be threatening you saying you're going to go to jail or going into this, or, because you bought 500 packages for Christmas shopping, we need to get reimbursed ASAP. These are all fake. So there should be no sense of urgency.
Yeah, the text message ones are the ones that I feel like have been on the rise for me. I get text messages almost every other day from specifically UPS and FedEx.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
your package, you just owe $1.25. Enter your information to finish the
Mm-hmm.
shipping costs. So yeah, all of those, they just get so creative with the wording, and that sense of urgency kind of just makes us jump, right?
Yep, exactly. So they want you to, creating a sense of urgency makes you not think, and essentially that's the goal. They want you to not think, just be like do, 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 and that's how they make a lot of their money. So kind of tips to look out to avoid scams and phishing is, when entering sensitive information, double click that search bar that we are kind of talking about. Look for the HTTPS. The S is really important here. So that HTTP, the S is really important because it means secure. That means it has that lock up there. If it usually doesn't have the S, it means it's usually not secure. And essentially, when a website is not secure, that means it's very easy for your information to be kind of taken, essentially. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? Let's say you're going website shopping, you're kind of looking around, you go into a website, you click HTTP, you notice that there's no S, maybe there's no little lock on there. That means if you put in your information into that website, they're probably going to ask for like some delivery information and contact information. That information is not secured. That means a lot of your information will be kind of leaked out. Sometimes those websites actually sell your information, which is how you get these random text messages, these random text scams, random text calls and emails. So it's really good to look for the secured sign on the HTTPS, or look for the little padlock icon next to the URL, just because that makes a little bit of comfort of mind knowing that your information is not easily accessible. So it's secured somewhere safely. Never send bank information through email or click on the link before looking at the website name. Like I said, you never want to provide any information through email. The best way is to do it in person if you can, and then never click a link before looking at the website name, right? It's really, really important just to make sure you do your due diligence before clicking that link. And then make sure to understand that you're not always in private browsing when visiting websites. Cookies track your data and that what you see is not completely random. So a lot of times is a lot of websites, even Amazon and the big retailers will use cookies. Cookies are a way just to kind of track your information. They just basically built into the website itself, and it just stores your information on a temporary file so you get a faster checkout experience. So maybe you're hovering over something, it's like, oh, there's all my information, my name, my address, my email, my password. Essentially, that's cookies doing its work just to kind of make the experience a little bit easier. But do keep in mind when you click accept for cookies, it does usually tend to store your information temporarily, about 30 days. And then when in doubt, verify before you take action. Always double check everything. You never want to just kind of just shoot for the shot and just say, hey, I'm going to buy all this all in one go, put my information, take my money, here it is. You really want to make sure that you're double checking everything. You verify all the websites, it's legit, and you've done your due diligence at least one time just to make sure, is this the right website? Is this real? And then there you go. Or even ask a friend. It's always good to have an extra set of eyes. There's plenty of people who know the scams out there, especially the younger generations. If you just ask them, you think this is real? They'll probably say that's fake mom or fake dad or fake grandma. That's a good way to have an extra set of eyes.
Yeah, I like to send I'll screenshot something and I'll send it to like my sister and be like, "Is this legit?"
That's like the best way. My grandmother does that all the time. She'll be like, "Is this legit? I'm buying something off Facebook." I'll be like, "No, grandma, that's not
Right?
legit. That's pretty much fake because they're giving you like these brand new shoes for pretty much 2 cents when the original shoe is $100. You don't want to put your information on there." All right. So, and then digital footprints. So that kind of goes into relation of what we just kind of talked about and creating that digital footprint. This is going to be essentially whenever you use the internet, you leave behind a trail of information, posting on social media, subscribing to a newsletter, leaving online reviews, and shopping online. So pretty much everyone in this new age world has a digital footprint. If you have a CVS rewards account, an Amazon account, or even online banking information, you have a digital footprint. Even subscribing to newsletters, having an email account, this is all having a digital footprint. Examples of digital footprint, kind of like what I was talking about, posting photos online. Maybe you have a Facebook account. Maybe you bought one item on Amazon 5 years ago. That is still a digital footprint. Digital footprints are lasting forever. They're pretty much a digital profile about some kind of information about you and what you bought. And this is created by every company and you sign it up pretty much everywhere you go nowadays. Purchasing items on Amazon, having an email, using the internet, signing up for restaurant rewards, and anything that requires some sort of information from you is creating a digital footprint. So a lot of places, major retailers will have a digital footprint created the moment you just buy something because they want you to have some kind of rewards number or say a digital receipt. That's all a digital footprint. And how a digital footprint can affect you is your data can be sold or shared to third parties, kind of going relating to that phishing scam. But this, whereas a lot of companies will do, is they'll kind of collect that information and sell it out just because information is valuable and they want to do that. So a lot of times your digital footprint is getting sold out somewhere, even though the company may be a really big company like Apple, Amazon, or Best Buy. And then majority of that time, cyber criminals can use that data for phishing or account information. A lot of times is when these big companies sell that information, it's very, very limited. A lot of times it's going to be just a name and a phone number. There's nothing else relating to that digital footprint like credit card information. There's nothing really, really important. So a lot of companies will sell that information. And how cyber criminals use that data is essentially they're going to try to reach out to you, getting those fake text scams, those fake text calls, saying, "Oh, your UPS, your package was delayed. You need to click this link and do this and do that." That's how they get that more information off you. So it's really, really important to make sure that you're not creating a really big digital footprint where everyone can get your information. You want to keep it really limited. Try to use maybe a shopping email or kind of use something separate. Like for myself, I use separate emails for everything, right? I have my financial emails, I have my spam emails, and I have more like a personal email. So I kind of separate everything, and it's a great way to keep your digital footprint separate.
That's a great idea. I don't know, never thought of that. But yeah,
No,
you just separate everything and then you can just turn it off or stop looking at it or stop using it.
100%. Yeah, I use for my example, I use like a shopping email. I will admit I'm one of those people who click on the best deals. I haven't fallen for the scams yet, but I will click the best deals if I see I'm a deal hunter. Maybe it might be a scam, but I use a fake email. It's
Yeah.
something where it has no relation to any of my personal banking accounts or anything like that. So it takes like 5 minutes to set one up, and then you're a little bit safer because now when cyber criminals have that phishing information, they have an email that doesn't give them any value whatsoever. It's not linked to my
Yeah.
bank account, it's not linked to my phone number, nothing like that. And then kind of goes into how digital footprint can affect your phishing. Phishing is a form of social engineering and a scam where attackers deceive people into revealing sensitive information or installing malware, such as ransom. So a lot of times is how these cyber criminals will use that link is essentially is one, they either want your information, or two, they're going to install a virus. Now, you don't want to get either of the two happen to you because if you get a virus, it's a little bit more trickier because some ransomware might just take over your computer and then you kind of just lose everything. So it's really safe to never click any random emails or links, but majority of times these cyber criminals are most likely going to try to get as much information as they can. Um, and a lot of times with the digital footprint, it's like I said, using that fake email or creating or using your real email, it's just mostly access or creating false identities. A lot of times is you might get a charge from Texas or Mississippi or somewhere just completely far away. It's because there's somewhere that you created a digital footprint and they have access to that. So it's really important to always just change your passwords, always update your information, and then be really, really vague when inputting your information. If it's something like a new website and you're kind of unsure and you're just curious and maybe this could be real or not, just try to be vague, try to use a PO box or maybe use a different email that doesn't tie to any personal or really important information. And then essentially personal information could be compromised as part of a data breach. A lot of times it's pretty normal. The AT&T data breach did happen, right? If you had a cellular device, which is kind of needed everywhere in modern day, they had a data breach where a lot of our information was leaked out. So the best thing to kind of do in terms of that is, like I said, update your information, change passwords. I usually recommend changing passwords every 3 months. just because it's a new password every single day, and it usually takes about 3 months for a cyber criminal to get your digital footprint because of how often it is and how long it takes to be sold. So your personal information can always be changed out and just kind of keeping a higher security. And then relatively permanent, and once the data is public, the owner has little control of how others will use it. Once a digital footprint is created, it's pretty much out of your control. Now it's pretty much permanent, so it's digitalized into the world of the internet. There's plenty of resources out there that can take down your digital footprint, but it's almost impossible to have no digital footprint just because, that phone number, maybe you have just a phone that you're using a mobile phone to use to FaceTime your family. That's all digital footprint. So it's pretty much impossible to never have a digital footprint. But there are ways that you can kind of control how the information gets sold out. A lot of times companies will kind of pop up. You might see that little pop-up bar at the bottom or top of your computer saying, would you allow us to sell your data? You can click deny on that. And usually a lot of companies do follow those rules and regulations. For the smaller websites, kind of not making sure those secured websites, a lot of times your information is being sold. So try to, like I said, be vague on this non-secured website and put as little information as possible. And then two tips to protect yourself. There's plenty of ways you can protect yourself. The one most important thing is kind of listening to this lecture and the tech tips lecture. It's always about the awareness and what to look for. I always try to keep all the tech tips, up to date with the most important information. And then two, if it's something you are unsure of, like a random email or updates on packages, never call the number listed and don't click random links. Make sure you reach out to them. My best advice for anybody who's going to be doing online shopping or just protecting themselves is if you feel like a package is delayed, you get a text message saying, "Oh, my package is delayed." Always call the number that you look up. Never use the information they provide, essentially. Never click the link, never use the phone number, because a lot of times that is part of the scam. So always kind of just takes a few seconds, search on, hey, United States Postal Service customer service line, click the legitimate website, call that number and verify if you feel like something is off or maybe something's real. That's the best way to protect yourself. This is actually some photos that I took of phishing and scamming that came from my personal account here. Like I said, kind of goes what phishing is. It's a weapon. But on the left, this actually came this Saturday, just recently, so a couple days ago, where I got this little text message saying U.S. Postal Service has a USP parcel being cleared. And the thing is, I actually bought a bunch of stuff using the United States Postal Service, so I thought it was almost legit. But if you actually click that link or you apply to this number and it looks kind of legit, it's most likely all part of a big scam. So try not to just click these random links. These are the most prominent. You're probably getting a bunch of these all throughout the holiday season. A lot of times, a lot of families usually on average get about 10 of these during the holiday season. So try not to click the link, like I said. If you have questions and like, hey, maybe this is something that I did order, call the number listed on United States Postal Service. Don't click this link. Don't respond to this. Do everything yourself. Never use anything that's given to you. And then on the right side is a really, really great Amazon phishing email that I received. So if you look at this email, you can notice that everything kind of looks legit, right? It has the Amazon logo, the copyright. It says, "We hope you found this message useful. However, if you'd rather not receive future emails, just click this link at the very bottom." But if you notice about this email is there's something wrong about this email. So this may look legit. Hey, dear customer, we're contacting you to remind you that on the 20th of June, 2019, we identified some unusual activity coming from the foreign IP address located in Africa. Now, a regular person might think, oh, this doesn't seem like a scam. It looks like it's legit. And it feels like, oh, this is like, just want to double check and see if I can lock my account. Well, if you notice on the account email at the very top, Amazon isn't hyphen, so it's not capitalized essentially. So that's already a one flag right there. And if you look at accounts at Amazon.com, it doesn't say Amazon. So that's a really big way to indicate if these are fake phishing emails. So this may look really, really legit, but if you were to click that account, it's going to make you sign into your Amazon account. And just like that, in a couple of seconds, you just lost your information. Your credit card's been leaked out, and everything with that Amazon account associated is all out into the internet. And usually they'll use it for their own good. Or they'll sell it out, which is not what you want to do. So really, really double check the emails coming from, even though this may look legit. This is an alert message from Amazon.com. It doesn't look like they're trying to sell me anything. There doesn't look like there's any urgency other than, hey, there's some unusual activity. Always double click the little top portion of the emails and see where it comes from. Because if you notice, it's always the small details. They can't replicate exactly what Amazon is. So that's what they use Amazon. So they forgot the A. So it's always good just to double check and make sure that you're really looking towards what's available and what's not.
And I like how you show like when you're hovering over that link, the even though the link looks correct within the body of the email, it has that other short link that's different.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So that's also a big thing. It's an HTTPS. It shouldn't be an HTTPS. It should be, the www.amazon and then whatever kind of lettering it is. So it's always good to hover around because sometimes your computer might do a little preview of what that link might say. Sometimes it's kind of unreliable. Sometimes it is, but it's always good just to kind of do some extra due diligence on making sure it's a secure link. How to protect yourself from package theft. So, everyone's going to be online shopping. They're going to be pretty much ordering everything to their house. A lot of us aren't going to go outside of our house because it's all ease of one click of a button. So package theft is a really big thing just to protect yourself. And this is kind of part of the holiday scam, right? They're trying to get your information, their address, and they're going to try to take all your packages essentially because you never know what you might order. So a lot of times just make sure you're requesting notifications on deliveries, making sure that you're connecting it to your phone and keeping up to date where your packages are always require a signature. I think this is the biggest and most helpful one. If you click the little checkbox to say require signatures, it might cause a little bit delay in terms of your packages might not being there. Maybe you're busy, but this is a really big game saver just because the holiday seasons is coming up. A lot of the big retailers are not going to reimburse you if the package gets stolen or lost. So it's really, really important to make sure that you're getting the package. It doesn't ruin your holiday spirit. And maybe if it delays it by an extra day or two, it's important to get the always require signatures just because that means it's not you that's liable, it's the actual shipping company. And that means you might have a chance of getting your stuff reimbursed if it doesn't show up. So, and it's a nice thing of a nice little way just to make sure your package does get secured into your home. And if you aren't home majority of the day, think of sending your packages to an alternate locations. A lot of places like Staples, Amazon lockers, and even grocery stores are now accepting packages where you can pick it up. Maybe you go grocery shopping every other day. Maybe that could be a place where you pick up your packages there. That's also a really secure way to make sure that you don't lose any of your packages whatsoever. Just because package stuff is a really big thing. And if a scammer knows that you're a big spender, you're going to buy a lot of your packages, especially if you're buying expensive new MacBooks for college graduates, schools, students, or anything that is expensive, they do like to keep tabs on you. And that's really, really scary. So you don't want that. So the best thing to do is always have alternate locations and just protect yourself, right? Like you can having a require signature and never leaving your package information out there on the door. All right. I think that is everything for what I have for my slides.
Thank you so much. And I think just that last one, I think a lot of people, everybody has Ring now or they have cameras at
Yeah.
the door and then, oh, I'm fine, I'll catch them on camera. But I mean, the reality is if somebody's walking, especially during the holidays when they know everybody's got packages, I've seen so many things where people have posted, oh, my package has been stolen. It's literally
Hmm.
pulling a hoodie over their head and they have a car following them. And it's so easy
Yeah.
just to I mean, they're just making a sweep down the street. So I think
Yeah.
don't just because you have cameras doesn't mean that somebody's not going to try to steal your package off your front porch.
Correct.
Yeah,
And it's very, very scary.
it is. So yeah, I think just being protect yourself, protect your packages, protect your online identity, all of that. I think that all of this information is so good because, I think we just get caught up in the, being wanting, especially for me, like I like to get all of my shopping done early and
Hmm.
like, okay, I want to get it done so that way I can kind of do all my other holiday stuff, all my baking and getting things ready at the house. So I think it's important just to take a quick reminder. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do that and share that with our audience today. And yes, so I hope that anybody who might have questions or comments about this video, feel free to message me and visit the website sensationalseniors.net. And I will have this video up there and you can reach out about any other questions. But thank you again, Nate, for your time today, and we will see you soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll stop sharing here. Appreciate it. Thank you for
All right.
having me.
Thank you. Okay. Have a
Bye.
great day. Bye bye.